I went from 100 kilos to 63 kilos. And the way I lost my weight, nobody should ever do it the way I did. Yes, I got the results, the fast ones. But I also ended up on the floor one day. And the scariest part, a part of me still thought that, okay, that's good because I'm losing weight at the end of the day, right? This video isn't a glow up story. Well, it is, but it's also the story where I got everything wrong before I got it right. So let me take you to the part where it all started. I was desperate, like genuinely desperate. Genuinely desperate, painfully desperate to just shrink. You know what I mean? And I thought the fastest way to do this is eat less. I cut down from 2 rotis to one. I cut sugar completely. I also started skipping meals and calling it discipline. And you know what? It worked. I started losing weight. In fact, I was losing weight faster, which sounds incredible, right? But that rate of weight loss is unhealthy. It is not healthy. Your body needs time to adjust. What I was doing was starving myself and calling it a lifestyle. But I felt powerful, like I had finally control over my body, over my thoughts, over my way of eating. And then one day, I fainted. My blood sugar had crashed dangerously low. I had been so obsessed with eating less that I stopped giving my body what it actually needed to function. I remember waking up and my first thought wasn't, I need to take care of myself. It was, I wonder if I lost weight. Yeah, that's how deep it was. And I think a lot of you watching this know what I felt at that time. It was a place where you stop listening to your body and instead start punishing it, going against it. When all of this was happening, I had a very toxic relationship with my weighing scale as well. I was weighing 3 times a day. Yes, 3 times a day. Morning before breakfast, afternoon after lunch, evening after workout, and every single time the number went up, even by 100 grams, I would spiral. I would punish myself with an extra hour of workout that evening. I would feel like I had failed. I would restrict even more. And the thing is, nobody had told me your body weight fluctuates throughout the day. What you are seeing on the weighing scale isn't your body weight. It's water retention, digestion, hormones, and 100 other things that I had nothing to do with. I was basically torturing myself over the data, which meant nothing. The scale became that thing for me, which I was obsessed and scared at the same time with. I'd wake up and before even saying good morning to myself, I would be on weighing scale. I used to wait for that number on the weighing scale to tell me how should I feel the whole day. I want to say something to whoever needs to hear this. Your weight is not your progress. It is one data point on one axis of a very complicated graph. Please stop letting it have that much power on you. For the longest time, I used to refuse lifting weights. Like completely refused. My whole workout was cardio, like jumping jacks, running, cycling, and whatnot. Because in my head, if I lifted weights, I would bulk up. I would look like a man. I would genuinely think that picking up a dumbbell would somehow undo everything that I was working on. It makes me laugh now, but at that time, it was a real fear that most of the women had. And nobody was addressing it. Here's what I learned eventually. Cardio is incredible. It strengthens your heart and lungs. It burns calories in the moment. It also builds endurance. I'm not dismissing it at all, but lifting weights, that's what changed the shape of my body. That's what made me feel like a woman, not less of one. I got to know that women don't have that level of testosterone which men have to bulk up. Lifting weights gave me strength, posture, and definition. It gave me a sense of power that cardio alone could not. There were a lot of other things also that changed beyond my body. I went from 100 kilos to 63 kilos. And when people see that, they think, oh wow, she must have been so disciplined. And yes, eventually I was, but not in a way that people romanticize it. I figured out real discipline doesn't mean punishing yourself. It's the opposite. It's not restricting yourself from eating something. It's tracking what you eat. The new version of me did this in a healthier way. She wasn't strict. She was kind to her body. She stopped treating her body like it's an enemy and started genuinely taking care of it like a friend. That shift, that is the real transformation. What happened on the outside was what that followed it. If you are watching this at 2 a.m. lying on your bed, feeling stuck in your body which you don't recognize or relate with anymore, this part is for you. I know what it feels like to wake up and the first thing your brain does is to remind you what you didn't do yesterday. The workout you skipped, the junk you ate, the version of yourself you're not yet. I know what it feels like to see that photo of yours and feel sad about it. Not dramatic sad, but that quiet sadness is there. In a way, you can't explain that feeling to anyone else around you. I know exactly how it feels to start over every Monday. To tell yourself this time it's different and you actually mean it, and then fell apart by Wednesday. And spend the rest of the week in that place where you think you have already ruined it, so you might as well wait for Monday again. I lived in that loop for very, very long. And I want to tell you that loop isn't a character flaw. It's not laziness, it's not weakness. It just means that nobody taught you what sustainable actually means. Because sustainable isn't dramatic. It doesn't make a good Instagram post. It is boring, it is slow, it is time taking. Some weeks nothing changes, but you do it anyway. So if you're somewhere in the middle right now, still figuring it out, still having bad weeks, still standing in front of the mirror and feeling like you're back to square one, please listen to this. You're not behind, you're not broken, you're just still in the middle of your story. And the middle is always supposed to be hard. That's not a sign that you're failing. That's what always a middle part feels like. It's hard. And if any part of what I shared today, the restricting, the obsessing, the spiral, if any of it felt little similar, please talk to someone. Not because something is wrong with you, because you actually deserve a support, not just a YouTube video. I'll see you in the next one.